Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another outstanding episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye spinach. He is the tranquil dart of Ringside Society, Delaware's greatest American hero. And whenever he goes to Taco Bell, he asks for a chief burrito because he's made of chicken and beef. He's Rob Base, and you are not. And the second corner, we have that ocean crossing, straight up Boston, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always positive, life is great, repping 592, living in the 718, no cap, straight facts, the worldwide starboy, Remy Blue. And our special guest tonight is a man who is making a name for himself as one half of the Frontliners. That's right, one of the hardest hitting tag teams. Hit you so hard, it will feel like your daddy, like when your daddy used to smack you when you said something out of pocket. And he is also the owner of ESPW, Eastern Shore Pro Wrestling. That's right, down there in good old Virginia. Everybody, welcome to the show, the Glasgow Dragon, Dennis Wade.
Woo! First off, you are the only person to ever pronounce the name Glasgow right. So
people actually got that wrong.
Somebody gets it right.
Wow, I shudder to think how they would actually pronounce it.
They say Glasgow.
Oh, come on, really? Jeez. How you doing today otherwise though?
I'm good, man. I'm about 8 days removed from having my wisdom teeth removed. So
I know how that is. I got had one on my upper right.
I had both of my bottom ones removed, and the one on the right side was the worst. So
ouch. Yeah, I remember when I was in boot camp in the Navy, and they removed my upper one, and I don't know what drug they gave me, but it felt like half my face was melting. Like I felt like Two-Face pretty much from Batman. So trust me, I know how it is. And our recent guest, cousin Wyatt, actually wish you a happy birthday. So happy birthday, Dennis. Hope you had a great one.
That was on Saturday. I appreciate it. I turned 31. Shout out to Wyatt. Wyatt is definitely a rising star in this business and is going to go a long way. That is very, very honest from the boot. He's a referee for Eastern Shore Pro Wrestling. Kid's not let me down yet. So he's going to go far in this business. I have no doubts in that.
Yeah, the man actually wore a chicken suit. Started off wearing a chicken suit, and he got over with that. That's talent right there. Like that, somebody can give you anything. You can make the best of it, and get over the crowd with it. Yeah. So we're gonna get into ESPW, but I always ask all of our guests, or most of our guests, this question: how did you become a fan of pro wrestling? What was the match or pay per view that you saw that got you to tune in every week?
It wasn't even really a match. I mean, it goes back, and I tell everybody this, and they all look at me and tell me I'm crazy. Goes back to when I was 5 years old. God, that was a long time ago. Whoa, that made me feel old for a minute. Sitting in the basement when I lived in Delaware, right across the street from Glasgow High School. Watching wrestling WWF at that time with my grandparents, and it was Stone Cold had just came back, or he was on one of his runs, and I just remember just falling in love with it, and then learning who Hogan was, learning who The Rock was, and then just as it went on and it grew, and you see all these people coming up. Papa Scott.
Oh, you're muted.
Awesome. That's cool. Papa Scott. Yes, it is the Glasgow Dragon. Papa Scott, you're on our radar. Don't go too far. We had your son on. We're coming for you. We're coming for you too next, man. Trust me. Don't go too far.
God bless Papa Scott, man, because he does all the video stuff for ESPW. That man, look, he's very specific about how he likes his stuff, but God bless him, man.
That's awesome. That's cool. So yeah, so you got to watch wrestling during the times of like Hogan and Stone Cold. That was an exciting time, man. Like I remember, like growing up, whenever you'd hear like that glass break, you'd be like, "Uh oh, where's he at? Where's he at? Who's gonna get an ass whooping?"
It's very much what it is.
Oh yeah. So growing up, did you ever get to go to any of the wrestling events, like WWE?
My
Um,
first event was a live event at the Wells Fargo Center. It was like, I don't know, it was early 2000s, because it was Shawn Michaels, and I got to see Shawn Michaels wrestle. That's always a blessing. Got to see Kevin Nash wrestle. So when you get to see those guys, you're doing something. Um, I think this was right after Kane lost his mask too when they did that.
oh, okay.
So I mean, there was a lot of good things I got to see. I mean, so I can't complain.
Yeah, I got to see my first ever WWE event that I went to, because I've only been to like three or four. Yes, it's actually been four. And the first one I went to was WrestleMania 28, and Shawn Michaels was on that, but he wasn't wrestling. By that time he was retired. It was WrestleMania 28, and I got to see him not main event, to referee the Undertaker Triple H match. That was
Hmm.
awesome. But at least, like I said, I got to see The Rock and John Cena battle. The Rock's been my all-time favorite, and I got to see him actually, do battle with John Cena for the first time. So that was a classic right there.
I
Uh,
was at the build up for the Cena versus Rock for the first one when it came to Philly.
okay,
Um, I was actually at the SmackDown when Batista relinquished the title because he got hurt by Mark Henry.
right.
And then I was at the Super Show Raw and SmackDown when Batista came back that same year in July.
Okay.
So it was like I got to see him lose it, and then I got to see him come back and beat the living crap out of Mark Henry. That was fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. As for Kevin Nash, I never got to see him wrestle, but I got to see him do a choke slam on somebody at a PWS Pro Wrestling Syndicate event up in Jersey, Rahway, New Jersey. I got to see that. That was pretty cool. But I could imagine what it was seeing those guys I get to wrestle and
Oh
whatnot.
man, seeing Kevin, dude, as big as Kevin was, and Kevin just being able to move, it was crazy.
Yeah, that definitely must have been something. So I got a question. I don't mean to be ignorant. I don't mean to sound like a dumbass. But does WB when WB goes to Virginia, where do they go exactly? Because I've never really like I don't I know Philadelphia is like the Wells Fargo. I'm in New York. It's Madison Square Garden. Boston is obviously the Boston Garden. But where's the big venue?
Virginia has two close to me. So you have the Scope, which is in Norfolk, which is where AEW runs a lot, but Raw will run at the Scope. And then they do have the Coliseum.
Okay, that sounds like the place to wrestle at, man. The Coliseum.
Oh, trust me, they're trying to tear it down, but a lot of people are fighting it because it's old. The building's just really, really old.
Yeah, but if it could host some like some wrestling events there, I mean, if it's not like that hazardous, then I
I
don't
mean,
see.
it's showing its age. It needs to be updated, and I just think they don't want to update it. They just want to tear it down and build a new one.
Well, if they're gonna build a new one, like a new sports place, then I'm all for it. I mean,
I think that's what it is. It's just funding, and what they're looking at now is what a lot of it is.
oh, okay, okay, that's awesome. That's awesome if they're gonna tear it down and build up another one. Just yeah, definitely do that because people need a place to go to watch some sports. And that's what makes a town. That's what brings a town together. Just having a place where people can go and enjoy the same thing and just sit down and chill out and whatnot.
I mean, what like Papa Scott's saying. I live on Shingatig, and NASA's right across the water, and they shoot rockets from here that goes to the space station every 6 months. So
Okay, wow. So now that you're well, before I say how I became a wrestler. So growing up, did you ever get to meet any of your favorites like in person?
I got to meet Dreamer about 2 years in. Um, Got to meet Sabu on the same show, Danny Doring. My first big indie show that I wrestled on was for RCW in Reading, PA. Eugene, Danny Bonaducci, Al Snow, and Balls Mahoney were on the show. And I was actually in a match with Balls Mahoney's student, and DJ Hyde came out and basically tried to lariat all of us, kill us. God, I love DJ. DJ's the best. Al Snow was actually watching it, and I didn't know. At that point, I'm 18 years old, don't know what I'm going to do in the business. And Al Snow and Eugene pulled me aside and said, keep training, you'll do something. So that was, that you kind of take that to heart. And then Balls Mahoney pulled me aside, and Balls was still, he was kind of bad off on everything. I'm not going to touch on that because it's just, you don't need to go into that. But he even pulled me aside. Hey man, you got a chance.
That must have been some experience, because the names you called right there, Balls Mahoney, Eugene, especially Tommy Dreamer, a man who is known everywhere, and then you got another guy who's known everywhere, Al Snow, I think now he's the new owner of OVW, doing a great job over there in Kentucky. That must have been exciting and nerve-wracking. If I were in your shoes, I don't know how, because everybody's different, but if it were me in your shoes, I would have been several different types of nervous and excited.
It wasn't easy, man. It was not easy.
Yeah, those guys, those are like some of the biggest names in professional wrestling. And I wouldn't want to mess up in front of those guys. Like, I would be like on like I don't know how I'd be, but I know I'd definitely be like several different kinds of like feelings. So speaking of which, how did you go from, Dennis Wade, the fan, to now the Glasgow Dragon, Dennis Wade? Like, how'd you find your wrestling school, and how'd your first match go and all that?
So I didn't have the normal path into the wrestling and being able to afford to go to a wrestling school and things like that. I actually had to do it the hard way. I started backyard, but it was more organized backyard, so it wasn't, hey, I'm going to bust you with a light tube. They were just guys that couldn't afford a license to run in a building. Did that training, and then I was blessed enough to get trained by the Nigerian Nightmares.
Wow, I heard of those guys. One of them is R.I.P. Aaron Gainey, right?
Yep, that was my dad. He was like my dad. I called him my dad. I got to be in the ring with him almost every weekend. Of course, I was losing, but you learn so much from somebody like him. And I got to learn under the great Jim Kettner at ECWA. So I got to travel the East Coast with the Nigerian Nightmares, and then Sean Hardy was able to give me my first chance at 1CW in 2011, 2012. And we remained good friends, and he's now brought me back to 1CW. So I'm now back there where it all started, and then I'm running my own company.
Hey, big ups to you on that. I know it's not easy running, a wrestling promotion. A lot of people say, "Oh, I would book this person. I would book that person." I, for one, I look at things with a bit of a realistic mindset. I mean, yes, don't get me wrong. It's nice to dream, nice to have a fantasy, nice to armchair book, but you got to look at reality.
You deal with so many egos in wrestling. It literally is a freaking soap opera.
Right.
I mean, with the stuff that I put up with, man, I go insane, and I'm at the point like I'll probably have to get an assistant here soon, just because it's too much running. As much as my brother helps me, he's running too, because he helps me run it. And then I've got Billy, who does all the booking with Anthony. So those two stay pretty busy to lighten my load, but I'm sure I'm going to have to get somebody else to help me. Still waiting on Rob Bates to come down here, seeing he doesn't ever want to come down.
Yeah, I was on hiatus when everybody was coming down there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm back. I'm back.
Sure, you were.
Rob Bass, they're waiting for you, man. You're on demand, man. They're
Yeah,
waiting
I'm
for
going to
you.
Shinkatig. I love Shinkatig, man. Plus, I can see the wild horses there, man. I know Wyatt loves it down there. He probably gets excited, man.
Man, that's something. And we have somebody here. I believe this might be Sean Hardy that says, glad to see that you glad to see you succeed. So you definitely have people that are actually rooting for you. Um, I don't know um why it's showing up as Facebook user, but yeah, you got a lot of people that are rooting for you. So that's
That
that's
and
awesome. Why it's showing up as Facebook user.
that is Sean. And I know he's watching because I mean he does pay close attention when it's stuff to me. I've been very blessed, and Sean has really taken care of me and looked out for me over the years. And he's really been that figure that I could turn to if I had a problem. He's never let me once give up on myself when I've beat myself up about screwing up on a match. Or as soon as I come through the curtain, he's the first one to be there to give me a hug and say, "Hey, this is what you did wrong. This is what you did right. Here's how we're going to fix it. Utilize what you're good at. Stop trying to do things that you shouldn't be doing. You're a big man. Just run with it." And he's always been the one to stay there and push and push. And I mean, again, even with ESPW, he's rode my ass every day. And I try my best. I really do. That Scott saying that means a lot. I really do hope the fans feel that way. I love 1CW. I love ESPW. I love what I'm doing. I'm happy where I'm at. But I can't do it without Sean. I can't do it without Anthony. Can't do it without Billy. Rob's come up to me a few times, and he's been able to ref one or two of my matches. He's announced me a few times. So I mean, even I'm going to take a point of this thing. I usually do this at the end. But Rob, as a friend, as a worker, as an owner and a promoter, I appreciate everything that you have done for me as a friend or been there. You know what I mean? Even when I was hard on myself or I was banged up, you were quick to jump and say, "Hey, man, are you all right?" So, again, it's guys like you that let guys like me not to give up in this business. So I appreciate you, dude. Seriously.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. That means a lot.
Rob is something about Rob. Rob is an amazing individual. Like, it's funny because when I never told you a story about how he and I met. We were like in year one of our podcast, and all of a sudden, like, this guy, he just DMs us. And I'm like, "Hey, do you guys need help with the podcast?" And I'm like, and I'm the kind of person, I'm like, whenever I let people into my crew, it's like I'm careful because I need people. I don't want people that are just gonna come and go. I need people that are gonna have longevity. And I was like, let me give him a chance, because I was once in that situation too, where I was knocking on somebody's door, like, "Hey, I got some, I got some. I could definitely help you. Just give me a chance, and I'll show you that I'm worthy." And I was like, "Let me give him a chance." And then lo and behold, I was like, "Okay, we don't have any spaces for co-hosts right now, but if you want, whatever we post on Twitter, just retweet it so people can know, because you never know who's going to be watching." And then I will never forget. It was one day. It was an interview with AQA down in Texas, and I was like, I wonder, two of my regular co-hosts, they couldn't do the show, and I was like, something, let me contact Rob and see if he would be able to do it. I mean, it's either sink or swim at this point. I mean, if he doesn't do good, I guess he can always be our person that retweets our stuff. If he does well, there just might be a spot for him later on. And then lo and behold, he actually shocked me, because he actually did the research, and I was like, "Wow, okay, this is awesome. This is he reminds me of me." I always say, if I could choose somebody that reminded me of me when I first started, it'd be Rob, because I was that way too. I was ready to, like, show, I was like, I would be like ready to show people like what I could, like, I can get this person. You should check out this person here. They're doing this. That's what Rob is. And that's who I am, or was when I first started. I still am that way too. But Yeah, he just blew it out of the water, and I was like, okay. And then eventually, when we got a spot um, available, I was like, hey Rob, there's a spot here available for you to co-host, and ever since then, he's been a very valuable member of our team. Like I always tell people, like I suck at interviews. I'm not the best one. I'm more of a behind the scenes kind of guy. But if anything, Rob is the one that's the real Rob and Kathy, because Kathy's our other co-host. They're the ones that really shine a lot.
I will tell you this, man, from the episodes that I have watched, and I mean this with all due respect, Remy, you have a voice that would carry as a commentator.
I don't I don't know about that, man. Like
no, listen to me. I have been in this business long enough. The introductions that you do and how you do it and how fluent you are, there is a space for you in this business. You have every inch of it of what you need to do. I'm telling you right now, straight up. You ever get a chance to come to ESPW, I will put you behind the commentator table.
I'll see about it, man. I'll see. I'm a bit shy, man. I'm a bit shy when it comes to stuff like that,
Sean Hardy just said it right in the thing.
Thank you, Sean. I gotta make my way down there.
Me and Sean will make the executive decision right now. I will make you a commentator at ESPW, and I'm sure Sean will make you one at 1CW. But dude, you have it. Then you get to look. Then you can make fun of Rob every time he gets in the ring to be a ref.
I don't know, man. I'll see. But I tell you one thing,
people want it, bro. Look at the comments. The people want it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll think about it.
Rob, but here.
I would.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I've been trying to get him down to 1CW and CCW, man. We've been trying.
I gotta get down. I'm gonna get down there eventually because Delaware is right there. But it's just a matter of timing. I'll get down there because y'all got a lot of interesting people down there. You got, of course, you got the Frontline. You got cousin Wyatt. By the way, now that you guys are the Frontline, there's Marcello. I don't know if you ever met him. You probably did.
Marcello was deemed the person that is supposed to take care of me and look out for me. And that's from Aaron. Like Aaron was talking to him about a week before he passed and goes, you got to look out for Dennis. So Marcello keeps me close to the boot. And if I go to screw up, he gives me a fond boot right to the butt. But he's the reason that I'm blessed to be able to have Kylan down here at ESPW as the women's champion. Gabby Ortiz is debuting here. I've got Gia Scott as well. So Marcello's good people. Trying to get the front line versus the D line, but I can't get Sam out of retirement.
That's what I was looking. That's what I was about to say.
I've been trying, bro. I'm trying. Do you understand how much I want that match? Like I told Marcello, I said, "Come on, bro. I need one match. That's it. Tell Sam one match. That's it. I don't even care. Like, let's go."
Yeah, I would definitely pay to see that. The D line versus the front line. That'd be awesome. Speaking of which, how did the front line get formed? Because I saw some of y'all's matches. Man, y'all hit hard, man. Like, geez, I would not want. I'll tell you what, promoters would waste their money on me. Because if they tell me, "Oh, Remy, you got a surprise opponent," and then I see it's the front line, I'm like, "Nah, man, they're gonna mess up my face, man. I can't. Nah, I'm out of here, man. Y'all just take the win, man. I'm forfeiting."
Some of the loudest chops in the business come from this hand, buddy.
Jeez.
Rob was out there when I lit that one guy up that night, and Rob come to the back. He goes, "Don't you ever come near me with that hand. Don't you do it." And I was like, "Hey, bro, sometimes," and it's not even the fact that I hit hard. It's more the fact that my hand is just solid. No, it's not. And no, it's not because of other practices of other things. Shut up, Rob, because I know you were thinking it. So to answer your question, so Anthony, I have been training Anthony since he was 10 years old. I was about 3 years in. This was before I wrestled at 1CW. And I started training him as he was 10. And I mean, he picked it up like this. And I mean, it was quick. Didn't take long, and he just picked it up, and he took a few years off just because he wanted to finish school, and I respect that. School comes first. So 2020, I ended up getting injured really bad at a show called Delta Wrestling Alliance up there in PA. The guy came off the rope, and he wasn't even supposed to. Did an uncalled spot, nailed me in my side with his knee, dislocated one of my ribs and 2 of the discs in my back. So I ended up taking a 6-month hiatus, had to get stem cell injections in my back that were like this long of a freaking needle. When I came back, it was more, hey, and we were teaming at that point. That was our first match together, and I went out and got hurt. So, not the way I wanted to start. Fast forward to 2021, July 15th, we got talking. ESPW was born. We wanted to bring back the tag team, and we just, we never even had a tag team name at that point. It was just, the Glasgow Dragon, Dennis Wade, and Tony Dempsey. The Frontline didn't really come to fruition until December of last year. And I based it off of, there's only one line, and that's the front line. There's only one line of defense. Offense, defensive line, whatever, however you want to put it. The front line. You've got to go through us to attack ESPW or the fans. We're that last line. We're going to guard. We're going to protect. We're going to attack. We're going to lay down a line. And with our size and frame, it made sense. And, with the things that are going on now and the story that we have now with the Tar Dynasty, they're the old school guard of Shingatig, but now they don't claim to be from Shingatig. So it's like we're defending Shingatig from them, and to see the crowd flip to where they're now cheering me and Tony, it's like, oh, okay, let's go. And, people are catching on. And even at 1CW, Rob was next to me, and this little girl come up to me. And Rob, you probably remember it more word for word than I do, but that little girl come up to me, and she goes, I didn't even have a Frontline shirt on. That's the crazy part. She goes, you're one half of the Frontline, aren't you? I'm like, I looked at Rob looked at me, and I'm like, yeah. She goes, I really like you guys. Are you guys coming here? I said, well, I'll be here. And then she was like, well, you need to get Tony to come. So I talked to Sean after the last ESPW show, and he sat down with me and Tony. So Frontline's coming back to 1CW, and we'll see what happens. But it's just been an ever-growing feature, and I'm blessed to be able to do it with my blood. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's all. It's always great, like, to do stuff with the people that you vibe with and all that. Family, whether it be family, whether it be friends. It's always a great. I always say some of the best tag teams that you have are the people that are like that either grew up together or the people that were like best friends, like started from the bottom and now they're here. And you see that in teams like what Brian Myers and Matt Cardona, aka I think they're back to the Major Brothers name now, or
Yep.
Major Bros.
Major players.
Yeah, you got the Usos who are obviously blood brothers, twin brothers, and you even have other tag teams like even some that where you just instantly connect and you click, like the New Day. It's always a great thing when you have those tag teams that are cool inside the ring, but they're also cool outside of the ring as well too. So, kudos to y'all on that. Y'all are definitely sharp with the in-ring work, man. Yeah, whew. I honestly speaking, I'll tell you what, and I'm not just saying this because you're in front of me, but I honestly hope that y'all actually get to travel to more like places up and down the East Coast. Like, if you have already, congrats on that. I always like to see people like just meet new destinations in pro wrestling. Like if you're wrestling,
we're pretty much ESPW and 1CW locked down right now. Between his work schedule and mine, doesn't really allow it. But we're always looking for bookings. If somebody makes that call, then we'll go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hopefully we get to see y'all over here in New York, New Jersey.
Promoters, man. It's fans like you that help us.
I'll tell you what, wrestling in New York, it's a vibe. It's a whole different vibe. I don't know if you've ever experienced
I've
wrestling here.
wrestled in Long Island before.
Oh, okay then. All right. So you know what it is then.
It is a different vibe, that is for sure.
Yeah. So who are some tag teams that um you'd want to see, the Frontline wrestle against? Like they could be from anywhere. Like they could be from East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, WB, AEW, heck, even overseas.
I'm not, look, straight up, I'm not one that thinks I'm ready to wrestle anybody that's on TV because I have my flaws between back issues and my knees and things like that. So I don't want to ruin a match opportunity with people like that. I enjoy working these small talent, guys that are trying to make it just like I am. I'd love to wrestle Pure Ignorance.
Okay.
I want to wrestle the Ranch Hands, the Workhorses, Grapple Vices. Let's see. There's so many people I want to work, man, but I try not to because I don't try to hold my expectations so high because again, I know where I am, I know where I belong on a card. I'm not that, you know what I mean? I want to wrestle Brian Idol and Rockstar at one point. That'll be nice. Just because Brian Idol's on NWA, it would be a good learning experience for me. There's a lot. I mean, it's hard to name any. I put it this way when people ask me this question, and instead of trying to list off 60 names, I'm blessed and happy to wrestle whomever I get in there with.
Okay. Awesome. So I'm gonna ask you this question. I'm pretty sure nobody's asked you this. If they have, then that person's a genius. Then, if you ask me, but there are 5 promotions in all of professional wrestling. Let's see: AEW, Ring of Honor, CMLL, AAA, New Japan, and I guess you could say Noah, that have 6-man tag team titles. There's not a lot of them over here, over here in America, except for the 2 big companies, Ring of Honor and AEW. But if you went to a show and you had to face that company's, 6-man tag team champions, who would be y'all's third guy?
Who would be our third guy?
That y'all know would have y'all back? Yeah.
I hate you right now.
What?
Damn, I hate you. If he was still here, I'd pick Aaron in a heartbeat.
Oh, sorry about that. My bad, man. Yeah.
I'd pick Aaron in a heartbeat, man. And if I had to tell you who I was going after, Prince Nana better watch his ass.
Ooh.
Because he has been to ESPW. He did attack me at the last time he was here. So.
Wow. Okay.
It'd be Nana.
Wow.
Oh, just real quick. Nana, if you ever watch this, glad to see that TK finally called you. Must have been because you were on ESPW and we got you over again.
So you've had a unique I must say, congrats on actually making that ascension from starting in the backyard, and then making your ascension to, wrestling for companies like 1CW and even, starting your own company, ESPW as well. And, a lot of there's a bit of a rumor that a lot of backyard wrestlers don't really get out of that, that label of being a backyard wrestler. I mean, of course, you had CM Punk, who started out that way, and now look at him. He, at one point, was WB champion, and he was recently AEW champion. This is my last question. I know Rob got a lot of questions to ask. He's chomping at the bit. So you got a young guy. He's getting into the business. He's been doing the backyard wrestling thing now for like close to a year, but he wants to elevate himself, step up his game. and start wrestling for credible companies, the ones that are at the youth centers, the auditoriums, et cetera, et cetera. What advice would you give somebody that wants to eventually better themselves?
I'm gonna quote Aaron and I'm gonna quote Sean Hardy because they both told me the same thing in the same, just in different wording. And if Sean's in here, I'm sure he's gonna give a big thumbs up in the comment or do a hand clapping gesture or something. The biggest thing that I can tell any young talent that I still learn to this day, because at some point I've got to bite my tongue and understand that there's a reason. Just like there's a reason why I have things going the way I want it in ESPW. Keep your ears open and your mouth shut. Understand that there is levels to this business, and when you're first just getting started, don't just come from a backyard into a big name promotion thinking that you're going to go into the middle or the end of the card and think you're top-notch talent, unless you're the God-given gift and the diamond in the rough where you have every talent in the world. Because I promise you, if you go in there with that attitude, you're not going to make it. Just ears open, your mouth shut. My first match in 1CW, Sean Hardy gave me the ultimate chance to step up and see what I could do. And my first match was with Melissa Coates with Christian York at ringside.
Wow.
And I held my own. It's only so much you can do with her, God rest her soul. But she was willing to go out there and, let me do some things and, but it was a learning experience. But again, keep your ears open, your mouth shut, and you guys will go far in this business. Understand that there's levels and you have to earn your way up. I'm 15 years in and I'm still earning my way up. I just main evented 1CW for the first time in my career a few months ago, and it was probably the most fun I ever had. And for Sean Hardy to come up to me and say, "Hey man, I'm proud of you. You earned that." That's it.
That's awesome. That's great, and that's great. That's great that you went from doing the backyard stint now to main eventing 1CW. That's phenomenal if you ask me. I mean, I know you may not think it, but I think that's phenomenal because, like I said, a lot of people, from what I heard, that being in the backyard wrestling, game, it's a lot of people tend to shun it. Apparently in the industry, I don't know because I'm just a fan.
I shun it. I don't like it. I don't like it. If I see light tubes, I'm like, nope. Moving on.
Yeah, but to actually go from that to where you are now, and also the owner of a promotion, that's a great accomplishment, man. And I actually tip my hat off to you for that. And I wish you guys, nothing but upward success and whatnot. Because that's like I said, I know it's not easy. I'm not, like I said, I've never been to business. I've never even taken a bump. Rob is the guy that takes all the crazy bumps and whatnot. But I have a good idea of how difficult it can be, but at the same time, how fulfilling it could be as well. So,
you want to take the cannonball?
I mean, pardon?
You want to take the cannonball?
I'm good. I'll stay right over here. I'm gonna be 40 next year, so I can't. I leave that to the young boys.
Rob, is it that bad?
No. You're fine. You'll be fine, man. You'll be just fine.
I leave all those crazy bumps to them young boys.
Rob's like, yeah, no, you're done. Rob's like, you're gonna die.
I leave all those crazy bumps to all them young boys like Rob and them, man. I'm too old for that. I'll stay here and just watch you guys from afar. So, but yeah, but kudos to that. And like I said, whenever I make it down there, I'll definitely make sure to check out a 1CW or ESPW show because y'all got a lot of hot talent there. And man, Christian York, oh man, I every time I see that guy, I get pissed off. Not because of anything towards him, but because I knew his career should have been more than what it was. I always thought that him and Joey Matthews, which low-key were one of my favorite tag teams, should have been more in professional wrestling. And when I saw Impact had him on, I'm like, Impact Wrestling, please sign this man. This man is good. He can carry your company. Sign him. They didn't. I'm like, are you serious? So definitely a lot more could have been done with him, but unfortunately, that's how the business is from what I see. There's some people that have all the talent, but for some reason they just don't get the right breaks. And that's why I always encourage people, support indie wrestling. Check these people out, look up their stuff, make your voice heard. Because that helps a bit as well too. But I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Rob. I know Rob has a lot of questions for you. Rob, go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
All right, sweet, thanks. So what's going on, Dennis, man? How's the day been for you? Busy day today?
No, I had the day off today. Today was kind of more of a recovery day and work on my truck.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess, keep the truck running, I mean, you gotta do that. So I gotta ask, man, you're talking about, ESPW, man. What's coming up next for them, man? When's your next show? And do you have any matches planned yet, or is it, too little too far out?
We actually started working on some stuff. Billy just actually had a loss in the family, so he's going to be taking off until January 1st, and that is per me. I told him, said, don't do nothing. I've actually been dealing with some family stuff too. My dad's got an enlarged heart, and then me and Anthony's grandmom, more his grandmom, from our dad's side, because we have different moms. She is now has stage 4 cancer, so we're kind of dealing with that at this moment. But we do got some matches lined up. We do got dates for next year. I can read them off to you. I got to get it pulled up. So ESPW returns on March 25th. Then we come back again at our newest venue. They actually came to our show in September, and they are now going to be bringing us down there. So we go to Sheridan on April 29th. Then we come back again on June 24th. We take 3 months off, come back on September the 16th. That'll be the 2-year anniversary of ESPW. And then the final show of the year will be November 18th, and that'll be Jingle Brawl 3. That'll be the show that we use to do the benefit for the toy drive for the police department here. First match definitely that's going on. Of course, Papa Scott's one-sided because we already know who his dad is or his kid is. So Ty Awesome versus the Platinum Icon Phil Brown. Phil Brown is actually an intern at NXT, just waiting to get his opportunity. So we're bringing in the big man. The big man's coming back. He's been with us since December of last year. He's been on a roll. The next match that I can confirm definitely is Everest versus Tiberius in a hardcore match. So 2 big boys going to throw down chairs, ring bell, whatever they can get their hands on. I'm trying to get my hands on a table.
That's right.
At this point, I don't know what the Frontline will be doing. I know I want to get my hands on the Tar Dynasty as much as I can. I can gladly and proudly say Kylan King, the mother effing king, will be in the building. She is your ESPW Women's Champion. She did just come off a win against Mother Endless, and we do not have an opponent for her yet. Brian Morris will be debuting down here, the Wonder Boy from the Monster Factory. And then, of course, we do have Gabby Ortiz coming down. We do not have an opponent for her yet. I'm in talks with Christina Marie, maybe have her come down. A lot of big things going. Kelsey Reagan also in talks to come in. Maddie Rinkowski from NWA. So we're in the group. We're growing. We were going to try and get Adina Steele, but of course she just went down with an injury over the weekend. So speedy recovery to her. We hope to see her down here soon. And you never know when Gia Scott might turn up again.
Yeah. Yeah, Maddie Rinkowski, that's awesome. Yeah, we've she's a guest on here before, and yeah, she's kicking butt. You know what I mean? Yeah.
She's a sweetheart, man. She's a sweetheart.
Oh yeah. If you get her down there, I definitely gotta get down there. I gotta rep that match or something. Ring announce it or something. Do something. Bring Remy down. He can comment. So, man, you're down there in Chincoteague, man. Do you have a problem with horses out there in the parking lot, man? Because I know how Chincoteague is, man. I go down. I haven't been there in a couple years, but I used to go there and look at ponies and horses and stuff, That's right.
I'm doing it this way. There's that. Then there's that.
That's right. That's right.
Oh,
Now you got a Cowboy thing on there, but you're an Eagles fan though.
That is correct. I'm in the Chincoteague Volunteer Fire Company, so I help take care of the horses. Just duly note.
Yes, yeah. I was going to ask you a couple questions about being a fireman and stuff, man. Because you're like literally an actual hero and stuff, man, saving lives. Not only that, I seen you're firefighter of the year, 2019. So what happened with that, man? Did you, were you running in a building? Did you carry like a whole family out on your back, or?
No, just hard work behind the scenes. We had some sick horses, and being down there through the winter from 6 in the morning till 2 in the morning, just all day long, putting in my dues, man. Just like wrestling, paying my dues.
There you go. Now there's this fireman show, this show about firemen I like, Tacoma FD. I don't know if you ever seen it or whatever. Oh man, it's crazy. I was going to ask you, man, do y'all play pranks on each other, mess with the cops, like they do in their stuff? Y'all, it's easy for them now. Okay. Sometimes don't mess with each other. I'm like, oh my lord, I wonder if that's how they really do.
No, they'll all be like, well, what do you do now? They're like, fighting fire.
There you go. Now, being a Philly fan, you know what I mean? Like, how are you feeling about your Eagles this year, man? They're kicking butt, man. Are you
Yeah. Hold that thought. That thought.
I know they're kicking butt, man. I think they're 11-1.
12-1.
12-1, yeah, 12-1. I know what you call them boys, they're a couple games back. They barely got past the Texans.
Well, it's because they ain't worth nothing.
That's right.
I don't even know where it went. That's not good. There it is.
I like my my friends that are Cowboys fans always bag me up because I had one look me in the eyes one year and was like, they're going undefeated this year. Who can beat them?
I am very, very strict. Okay. I am very, very strict about my quarterback. Okay. And unfortunately, I am not ready to give the keys over to Jalen Hurts yet. I am still on that train.
Okay, Wentz, yeah.
I'm still on the Wentz wagon, okay? But we are definitely doing what we can, and I think Philadelphia has a really strong shot, seeing that nobody can figure out the RPO. But the biggest problem right now is we're getting caught up on injuries. We just lost our safety again. CJ Gardner-Johnson's out. So we got some injuries piling up. Hopefully we get Dallas Goedert back here in about 2 weeks. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it is getting about that time of year, man, where, the injuries are going to catch up with you. They've been beating themselves up, all year. Might take a week or two off, get ready for that playoff push.
Once we clinch the division, I'll be happy.
Didn't they already clinch a playoff spot? Somebody did.
We have a playoff spot. We're the only team to clinch so far, but we do not have the division, and we did not lock the number 1 seed yet.
Okay, yeah, okay. I remember seeing something on it was on ESPN or wherever. I was like, man, somebody already clinched in the playoffs. I'm like, oh, it was the Eagles. They probably did. They dominating this year.
We play the Bears on Sunday, but I'm not sleeping on the Bears.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Football, man. I can never sleep on anybody, man. It's like even if you're playing the Texans, it's like any given Sunday, like the Al Pacino movie. Now I was doing a little research and stuff. I found out, man, you're kind of a gamer and stuff, man. So what are you playing right now? Is there anything you're playing right now? And are you still doing the 2K?
It's been not really 2K, nonetheless. Don't really have many people to run with on PS5 anymore. So I am in full mode, full gear of Call of Duty Warzone 2.0. That unhinged trios thing where you can recruit people and do 6 people on a team. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I haven't gotten that one yet, man. I've been still trying to get a PS5 and a Xbox, man, but it hasn't been working for me. So I'm still on my one. I know Jay Bougie, man. He was like, man, I can get you one, man. Man, I come across them all the time. I'm like, I can't do it in December, man. I got to spend money on other people, man. I'll wait till January, February or something, man. Trying to do that. I was like, other than that, man, I'll probably get a Switch, man, because I like Nintendo. It ain't bad.
Well, you let me know when you upgrade to that PS5, man. We'll definitely tear it up in Warzone.
That's right. Now I'm good. Do they have zombies on there? I love playing zombies on Call of Duty.
There is no zombies.
No, okay. Well, that's all good. I'm just I have bad eyes though, man. So if I'm out there, sometimes gonna take me a bit. I'm in my 40s, you know what I mean? My reaction time
Get some binoculars on your face.
That's right. Yeah, I need to get the bifocals. That's right. Shoot. So, man, we were just talking about gaming, man. I always ask this too. Are there any new movies and TV shows you're into? Because I always get stuck watching the same things over and over again, like comfort shows.
I
I'm always
honestly
trying to branch out.
I don't even watch TV anymore. Like I don't. I watch football, I watch baseball, and I watch basketball. That's it.
Okay.
Other than that, I put Disney Plus on, and I'll go back and watch Wicked Tuna because I love fishing. I'll go back and watch like them old Disney movies, like when we were growing up, the original Disney movies, like Ready to Run, where it's horse racing. I go back watch The Walking Dead, Arrow, things like that. You've seen me do it a few times. When I do the Cannonball, I kind of pay homage to Stephen Amell with
Yeah.
So, but I'm a big Power Rangers fan too. You've seen the Power Ranger tattoo on my back. God rest JDF on that one.
Yeah,
I'm still waiting for the opportunity that I can do, like where I'm getting beat down and somebody hits the Green Ranger Dragon Flute thing on the speakers, and I just start hulking up and come back, dude. Because I feel like it'd be the most over freaking thing with Power Ranger fans. Like it'd be funnier than hell.
Yes, that would be awesome, man. Oh, I can see that.
Dragon Dagger, so it can be done.
And then you play the theme song, you just keep playing the theme song, everybody go, go Power Rangers, you mighty morphin Power Rangers. Yeah, you just out there hulking up and just like, oh man.
Remy's not impressed.
Nah, that JDF thing caught me off guard though. People always argue with me. I always said that. Yeah, Tommy's the most powerful, but Jason was always his equal. Like they were always
this
equal.
Guy. All right, no, mute him. We ain't talking. No.
Hey, it is what it is.
Listen, Austin St. John quit on the show because he wasn't allowed to say it's morphin time no more. He gave up on the fans because somebody came in that caught the fans better than he did.
No, well,
guys,
they were actually working for less. For next to nothing, doing more for less. That's what I heard. They wanted more money because they were doing more for less. So I mean, there's always three sides to every story. What he said, what Saban Entertainment said, or Hayden Saban, and then there's the real story. What happened? Maybe what he was saying was true. Maybe Austin, Thuy, and Walter were being a bit difficult to work with. I mean, it could be
I don't know. The recent Power Ranger movie that came out, it sucked.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I didn't care for that.
The only thing that was good is that they used the original Power Ranger movie theme song when the Zords were running. That was the only good thing.
I like when they got their powers and started fighting at the end. I'm always good for a good kaiju battle.
I thought the only good thing was when Tommy and Kimberly were actually in that one cameo.
That too. No, that too. But when the Zords are running and they do the old trademark run from the TV show, and then like when they did the whole Ivan Ooze Power Rangers, the movie theme, the hard rock freaking Power Ranger theme, like that was cool because I popped in the movie theater for that. Almost got kicked out, but
oh man. Yeah, I ain't been to the theater in a while, man. After COVID and stuff, man. Yeah, all that stuff. I need to go back to one, man. I need to catch some Marvel movies up there too. I always like watching them there, man. Going to IMAX theater or something. It's like, whoo, man. I'm like, I need this in my living room.
Saw was Fast and the Furious 10.
Yeah, I know I think they're coming out with a new one. Well, I heard they're going to space or something, or they're going to do something crazy,
Dude,
man. I'm
it's
like,
just too. They're doing too much. Like, just call it. Be done.
hmm. Yeah, I was good when they were like, do it the first one and all, where they were like, yeah, we're racing, but then we also do the things like, yeah, and then 10 more movies of that. I was like, all right, man. So I do got to ask, man. It's the end of the year coming up and all. Are you, are you getting ready for Christmas, man? You got the, the tree up, lights up, man. Are you one of those Christmas spirit people?
Um, I really do love Christmas, but my family's going through a tough time financially.
Mm,
I mean, that's not really anybody else's business, but so we've kind of struggled. We didn't actually get a tree yet, so I mean, we put some lights up and things like that, but we haven't really been able to do what we like to.
mm. Yeah, I'm sorry here, man. That's terrible, man. I know that like I don't ever do put a tree up. I got a little like 2 foot, 3 foot one. I just like stick up. I ain't got no kids or wife or nothing. I'm good. I got my beagles. Because if I had a real tree in there, man, I know they'd be peeing on that thing, man. I'd be coming out and be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" God, sake, dogs. Be like Clark Griswold, man. You know what I mean? Be like, "Yep, oh, the dog got into the water again. Here we go, man."
Get off my Charlie Brown tree.
That's right. Yep, my little Charlie Brown tree. Yeah, man, I am kind of excited though, man. I get to see my like grandmother, whatever. Because my grandfather passed away in January, and this is the last Christmas we're going to get with her or whatever. So this is the last one before she moves back to North or South Carolina with her kids. Stays there. So I'm excited for this one, man. So it's gonna be a very good one. Now, when is your now? He said ESP, Eastern Shore Pro Wrestling, comes back in March and stuff. 1CW is back in January 14th. Is that your next appearance, January 14th, or do you
That
have
is
something
correct.
coming up?
Me and Tony Dempsey both will be at 1CW.
That's right. And hopefully y'all get that. You get a match with the Tar Dynasty up there, man. 'Cause, them and Ty. They've been doing some stuff up there.
I tend not to let my issues reign over from my company to another.
Oh, okay, I got you. I got you. I got
But not gonna lie, Dennis has been looking for 1CW tag team gold for a while.
you. That's right. I ain't mad at you, man. Now, before I pass it on back to Remy and stuff, man, I gotta ask, traveling up and down, up and down wrestling and stuff, the East Coast, man. You have any funny travel stories? Like, have you run into like a chupacabra or going up in the mountains in PA? You seen a Bigfoot or something? Something crazy.
This ain't good, man, because I can't tell y'all some of this stuff because I'll get in trouble,
Oh
or then
man.
people are gonna laugh at me.
Okay. All right. Never mind then.
No, look, we stopped at this gas station, right? And I had just woken up. And of course, you know how you are when you're just waking up, you can't remember how to say something. So there was this place, they had rotisserie chicken, whatever the hell you want. And I went, I'm like, yo, they got resuscitatory chicken. I'm like, oh, I just said that completely wrong. This is not good. In the middle of a gas station, there's like 20 people in here. They're all looking at me. I'm like, I just woke up.
That's right. That's right. Oh man. Yeah, I do that all the time, man. Somebody will say like, "Yeah, how are you doing?" I'm like, "Good morning" or something like that. Something crazy. I'm like, "Ah, my bad."
Shoot, bro, I work for Best Western. All my guests come in, and I'm like, "Hey, Merry Christmas!" And it's July. They're like, "You're like a few months early, right?" I'm like, "Yep."
Yeah. So, hey, you can never get it started soon enough, man. Now, before I pass it on back to Remy, I want to say thank you, for taking time out of your busy schedule, coming on to chat with us, man. It was a blast. Man, I wish you nothing but the positive things to happen to you and your family, man. I hope you get to, go travel around even more. I hope you get some tag team gold in 1CW, man. I hope, Eastern Shore Pro Wrestling, flourishes and continues to grow and kicks butt, man. All the positive things happen to you, your family, and all that good stuff, man.
I appreciate it.
Dennis, thank you very much, for, taking time out of your busy schedule to be on our show. We really and truly appreciate it. And, we definitely wish the best for you and ESPW and, your 1CW appearances. Hopefully, you make it up here to New York. You get to wrestle again, Long Island, Brooklyn, all the other places. And we wish you, we definitely wish y'all well. And when we see y'all on, AEW, best believe we'll definitely be cheering y'all on, because we've had that happen before. We've had people that have been on here that went on to, make appearances and even get signed by some of the big companies like WWE and AEW. So, we definitely wish y'all all the best. And 15 years, wow, that is a lot. I must say, if nobody has thanked you before, you're gonna hear it from us here for the first time. But if they have thanked you before, you're probably gonna hear it for the thousandth time. But thank you for putting in all those years, and thank you for giving us all those matches and memories, whether it be as a solo wrestler, or as one half of the D line, or teaming with the Nigerian Nightmares. Thank you very much for giving us all those years and whatnot, and just know that it's actually appreciated, from us here at Ringside Society as well. And before we shut this show down, where can fans find you on social media when they
So
want?
we're on multiple platforms. We did actually just open a store up on Pro Wrestling Tees. There's 4 different shirts up there right now. We're working to make some more. So if you want to support ESPW, we have not sold a shirt on there yet. So if you want to be the first one and help ESPW in their new mission, you can go to Pro Wrestling Tees, type in ESPW. There's 4 different shirts. You can find us on Twitter. That's Shore_wrestling. Jesus, bad. I can't even remember my own thing. Give me a second. Hold on that one. That's bad. I got too much going on. Can't remember what I'm doing. Yep, Shore_wrestling. Of course, on Instagram, it's ESPW owner, or ESPW_owner. And then we are on Twitch as well. You just type in ESPW, we'll pop up on there where it's ES Pro Wrestling. And you can watch the shows there live, because we do stream them live. Then you can find us on Facebook, Eastern Shore Pro Wrestling. We do have our website, easternshoreprowrestling.com. And we are on YouTube, Eastern Shore Pro Wrestling. And, if you want tickets, you can call. Tickets are on sale for March already. Our front row was gone within 20 minutes. And we're still 4 months away from a show, mind you. But the front row was gone in under 20 minutes.
Wow. So y'all heard, definitely follow this man. If you're in Virginia, definitely head on over to ESPW. They got a lot of cool stuff going on. They have people like Kylan King on the show, and many other great names in professional wrestling. Gia Scott, Gabby Ortiz, many other people. Definitely check them out if you're in Virginia, or even if you work at the airport and you got those buddy passes or flight benefits. Head on over to Virginia, see some wrestling in Virginia. I always tell y'all, just because you live in a certain state, that you can't look and see what's going on over in the other state, or just because you live on one side of the country it doesn't hurt to check out what's going on the other side of the country. So definitely, check out, ESPW, cop some merch. They have merchandise available on Pro Wrestling Tees. If you can't make the shows, that's another way you can actually support, is copping some merchandise as well too, because like I said, the majority of your big time, superstars, your AEW superstars, they actually, come from the indies. So it's always great to support indie wrestling. And with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this show down. My eyelids are getting heavy. My stomach is rumbling. I mean, it's time for a nap and dinner. Maybe not that order, but before I indulge in those activities, Raw Base. Where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling, purchase Raw Base merchandise, or find out when your next appearance is? Where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
All right, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Rob_base82, and then Facebook, Rob Base. And next show I'm going to be at is 1CW, January 14th. I don't know any of the card coming up right now, but I know Ty Austin's going to be there. I know our guest right here, the Glasgow Dragon, Dennis. Dennis Wade's going to be there, man. Tiberius might be there. Asante, Miles Millennium, maybe. Hey, it's going to be just awesome show to come January. We're going to bring in the new year right.
Awesome. So y'all definitely, if you're in Houston, Delaware, or the surrounding areas, Check out those two promotions as well. You got two shows for the price of one. That's right, two for the price of one, and a lot of great people on those cards too. So if you're in anywhere near that show or in the same town, head on over, check it out. If you're a professional wrestling fan, this is on you. You should definitely check out those shows and whatnot. They're very exciting. And if you want to find me on social media, not that I have anything cool to say, but who knows? Maybe you'll hear me say something cool one of these days. You can find me on Twitter at the Remy Blue. You can also find me on Instagram at the Remy Blue as well, and on Facebook under the alias, you guessed it, Remy Blue. Our podcast is also on social media. We're on Twitch and Instagram at Ringside Society. No, Twitch at Ringside Society 2019. Instagram and Twitter at Ringside Society. We're on Facebook with a Facebook group. Just type in Ringside Society and you'll find us there. We're also on Hive for some reason. I don't know why we're on Hive, but we're on Hive at Ringside Society, Spotify, and we also have a Teespring store where we sell official Ringside Society merchandise. We have T-shirts, we have tank tops, we have hoodies and long sleeve shirts for the cold weather, and we even have coffee mugs for your favorite warm beverage. So check out our store, purchase some merch. All proceeds go back into keeping our show afloat. They do not go back into our pockets. And last but not least, we also have a YouTube channel where we have a lot of cool interviews like this one, like the one recently had with Cousin Wyatt and Kylan King and Christina Marie and many other great guests. So definitely check us out. All you gotta do is go on YouTube and type in Ringside Society. And once you see that very good looking dark blue and light blue yin yang sound with blue flames around it, that's when you know it's us. So make sure you subscribe to all our videos because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. And you don't want to miss a thing, like Aerosmith in 1998. But with that being said,
hey Remy, can I hold you for a second?
Sure, go ahead.
I want to do some breaking news real fast.
Be my guest.
Rob Bass.
What up?
What are you doing March 25th?
So,
He froze. I broke him.
No, I think he's still thinking. Oh, maybe he did freeze. He'll be back. He does that. It comes in and out. You'll see. He'll pop up somewhere.
yeah, my bad. My internet went out, man.
There you go.
What are you
I'm
doing
back.
March 25th?
I don't have no plans.
How would you like to be one of the newest referees for ESPW?
Sounds good to me, man. I'm ready for a trip to Shinkatig.
Message me. We'll talk details. And you can bring everything back here to Ringside Society. Tell them how great things are down here. And Remy, if you get the chance that you want to come down, bro, you let me know. We'll put you up in a room and everything. You come enjoy the show.
There you go.
Right. All right. So yeah, y'all definitely check out ESPW.
I'm sorry. I'll shut up now.
It's fine. Well, y'all heard Rob Bass, referee for ESPW, March 25th. Check it out. But yeah, with that being said, y'all got our y'all have our social media links. Definitely check it out. And with that being said, we just want to thank you. We just want to thank everybody that tuned in live tonight. We really and truly appreciate it. Papa Scott, like Goldberg used to tell his opponents back in the 90s, you're next. And yeah, definitely that didn't come out right at all. I think I had to put some more bass. But Papa Scott, really and truly, thank you for all that you've done video wise. We're definitely gonna try our best to have you on our show.
If you're gonna do it, you gotta do it right. You're next.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of bass with a little bit of hoarseness, but
Nah.
yeah. But yeah, for those of y'all that tuned in live tonight, thank you very much. We really and truly appreciate it. We try our best. We strive to be on one of the best wrestling podcasts a wrestling fans should listen to. To those y'all that are going to listen later on when you get a chance, thank you very much in advance. And those y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really truly wish you'd go away. Well, like myself at Go to Corral and Rob Bass at the Taco Festival, we're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
And we ain't stopping. It's been 4 years now. But with that being said, we just want to let everybody know that we here are very well aware. It's no secret. We see it all the time. Everybody and their grandparents and their parents have a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hashtag we are not the same. Hey, yo, Rob Bass, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, one time for Eastern Shore Pro Wrestling.
Woo!
And the Gasco Dragon, Dennis Wade.
Woo!
What type of podcast are we?
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right. We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society, and we will be back next week. Yes, we all will see us before Christmas. Don't think you're going to get rid of us that soon, but we will be back next week with another impressive episode with another impressive guest. But until then, we just want y'all to do 4 favors for us. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
See y'all. Good night. Stay classy, Delaware.